No, you're next week, mate.
I just saw the message.
How many messages did you throw out before you got to me?
Oh, you were like 10 options.
Wow, that's crazy.
Are you introing today?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Oh, you see, he doesn't like
I
the
do the
job I've done.
afternoons. I don't do mornings. Righto, we're back for another ep to the Better Down Back podcast, powered by MyPlace. Privileged to have a forward, mid and a back. I'll let you decide who the forward is this week, but our mid is Andy Brayshaw. Andy, how you feeling in the hot seat?
Yeah, I'm excited. A little bit worried. Driz has got a look in her eyes that she's going to ask some tough questions, but no, happy to be on the pod.
No, I actually just love that Brett messaged 10 people before you, Andy. It's an absolute
I was
stitcher.
the last caller, but no, very happy to be part of it.
No, we're rapt to have you. Almost qualifies as a defender after some of the efforts on the weekend. Was quite outstanding, not only with ball in hand, but chasing, tackling, smothering.
It was bloody good, but we still actually need to get a defender on at some point. Apparently, Walks has got an appointment at the vet this afternoon as well. So just another one of those Tuesday Arvo appointments.
I'm sure we can get him an appointment with us soon, Em. It'll be fine. But yeah, anyway, rate and review last week. Jommy, we had the big fella on.
Mm-hmm.
Quite the voice. Should be doing audio books or something like that, I reckon.
Absolutely.
He's,
mesmerising.
Yeah.
Like, he was so good to listen to.
Yeah. He's got to be up there with Morgan Freeman or Matthew McConaughey.
He's got to be. No, he was actually unreal. Andy, have you listened to any podcasts yet?
From you guys?
Well, obviously. We
No,
don't care about
I do listen to some podcasts, but I haven't listened to the Better Down Back yet.
Okay.
I'll listen to this back though, definitely.
Yeah, of
Loves
course,
listening
of
to
course.
himself, this bloke.
Yeah. No, but it was good. I think there was some feedback there. Someone did write in saying that John should be doing audiobooks and his voice has a lot of bass.
Yeah.
Don't know what our voices have, but I currently have an ear infection as well, so it's probably because my ears have been bleeding the last few weeks listening to you.
Or is that because you're double timing on podcasts without me?
I knew he said, good segue, nice.
Double timing. So, Am,
it
for
was.
those that don't know, Am cheated on the potty last week. She's jumped onto the one after the game.
See, he doesn't even know the name.
Yeah, because I don't even entertain that other rubbish. This is where I'm at.
I actually did feel like I was cheating on the podcast after the game on the weekend with Oz on the final Siren pod. But it was good. It was only short as well, though. 15 minutes. It's got nothing on ours, so don't worry.
The old podcast karma, eh? The ear infection. Got
Ear
ya.
infection.
Anyway, anything else happening in your life, Andy, that we need to know about before we move on and talk about some interesting segments that we have?
No,
Nothing
go
you need to
straight
let us
into the
know
segments.
about? Nothing?
Nothing at all.
I mean, in my life.
Yeah, just anything around the club.
He's nervous now.
Actually, we have two Irish fellas over for a little trial period.
Oh,
Maybe we can
great.
touch on that.
Yeah, they got introduced to the group today. Understood about 75% of what they were saying. Very thick accents, but they're doing their 1Ks this weekend actually, apparently, which is tough. And then they're going to be with us for the next 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah. No.
Are they Gaelic players then as well?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. I feel like I find that when our Irish girls first came in as well, they talk so fast and then you're just going, I actually have no idea what came out. But I feel like the slang is really hard for them with us. Like, I think one day I said to them, oh, I'm flat stick today. And they're going, what do you
What
mean?
is a flat stick?
And they take like so literally.
Yeah.
No, it was
No,
brilliant. Well,
they,
that's exciting though.
Yeah, they're only with us for something like 12 days or something, and the S&C have managed to fit the 1Ks in.
Yeah,
I actually thought we want to try and keep them here and want to come back, and the 1Ks do bad things to people.
Yeah.
They are terrible.
Speaking of stuff that's going on in lives, though, your brother told me that you had a broken light at your house.
Yep.
So first you kicked all three of your brothers out of your house and then you make them come back to fix this light in the pouring rain. Tell us about
Okay, there
it.
is so much mayo on this.
I knew. I was like, as soon as Mitch said something, I was like, Mitch, you...
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to return serve like, let's say, Rafael Nadal, because Mitch won't be able to hit this one back. But Mitch lived with me for near on 3 years.
Don't get mad at me.
Both of them
He's
qualified.
yelling.
No, I'm not.
Now he's yelling.
Both of them qualified electricians, right? And they haven't been able to... I looked after them, yes. But both of them could not even find a spare day in the 2.5 years they lived with me to change the light globes or to fix the sensor, even though I've asked them plenty of times. And thankfully, Mitch actually hasn't lifted a finger, so the fact that he's claiming it is a joke, and it was Jai. So
Okay.
I'll pump Jai up, and Mitch, you can get stuffed.
Thanks for the light,
But
boys.
enough about that. We need to highlight about people doing work around the club. Some
Yep.
anchors in action. Let's get into it.
Hey, put on your Superman case, boy. It's Wolfie time. Let's go.
So I'll take it away. I'm going to go with one today, Patrick Abbott. He works closely behind Dale Emery, sort of is a 2IC, I suppose, to Dale, but does covers a range of bases, does a bit of oppo stuff at times, but largely takes care of the ticketing and that sort of thing, chasing up all the bits and bobs. And, you know, quite a thankless role and often gets flooded with requests and has to divvy them up and not try and upset people, but also keep people happy. Quite a tough gig, so Paddy Abbott's going to get my vote this week.
Lovely. Love it. Andy, your unsung hero around the club?
I'm going to go with a player, Odin Jones. Juice is his nickname at the club.
Lovely.
He brings a lot of energy and a lot of passion, and he makes it very fun to come to work every day. And yeah, encourages a lot of the young guys to buy into a lot of the stuff that we're doing. And yeah, I love Juice and love the energy he brings.
Great, love it. And mine is going to be Declan McCormack. He is one of our trainers. He is studying physiotherapy and he actually applied for the elite athlete program at Notre Dame just so that he could make our training sessions at like a 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. He also drives from South Mandurah as well. So fair trek for Deck, and he's here literally 4 or 5 times a week, and he'll message in every time we have a new trainer on board as well. So the way he's fitted in with the group is awesome. So well done, Deck.
Well done, Deck. What a good man. Great segment, that one. But now on to the game on the weekend. Another 50-point dub over Melbourne, Snea, and you and Caleb feasted. You literally are inseparable, even on the footy oval. You love to wax it between you and do that sort of thing. 77 disposals between you. How'd it feel out there?
41 for yourself, Andy. Might I just add that in?
Thank you.
Yeah, and clearance dominance.
Yeah, it's unreal.
Like, talk us through it. The group, not just you two, but the group and the work you've been doing to get to this point. And
Yeah, it's we had obviously dominant rucks in Sean and Dogger, which goes a long way. We actually spoke about a round against Carlton in 2023 where they didn't have a ruck and we sort of thought it was just going to happen, and they beat us up in the contest and got the win. So Sean actually made a big point about it during the week that we're going to continue to be aggressive and physical, and I think the mindset of the midfield group was definitely focused in, and they gave us really good looks. We did a lot of strong body work and were able to, win the contest inside, and then really put them to work on the outside, and we sort of put them to the sword early. I think we won almost every clearance in the first quarter, and our tails were up and about, and it was tough for them to chase us for the rest of the day.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you mentioned that because it was 14-0 in the first quarter for clearances. But I think that's so important, that message around confidence as well. Like, you guys went in you weren't going in confidence, but gained that confidence from how well you went in the first quarter. And I think there was absolutely nothing stopping you from there. And I think main point for me would be connection. I feel like watching the game, it looked like everyone was just on the same page. I guess talk us through the work you guys have done to be predictable to one another, because that's what it looked like out there on the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, a huge focus for us every week, but this week in particular, we talked about our connection, particularly between lines. So I actually mentioned at Captain's Run, we sort of have our final team meeting, and I spoke to the group about, what scenarios, when can you connect with your teammates? And I shared a few of my examples. Clark is one of my teammates who when I'm feeling like my head's not in it, I try and connect back with Clarkey to get myself back on task, we call it. And when I'm not snapping out of a stoppage, which is defensively running out of a stoppage, he gives me a clip. So, we try and connect as much as we can. That was, a big focus going into the game.
And thankfully on the weekend, didn't have to speak to him once. A matter of fact, he was voted our trademark player. So for the listeners at home, the trademark player is a player who's not necessarily the best player on the ground. It's a player that, we, in the four walls, praise for their defensive acts or their acts that, you do without the football. And I think, your numerous amount of smothers, chase down tackles, that sort of thing on the weekend, mate, was a standout. So
doesn't go unnoticed. And I guess speaking of those acts, Switter, he has cemented himself as a player in the comp with the most tackles inside forward 50. That is absolutely elite. He's a trademark player and he's been mentioned a few times on the pod. How incredible is Switter, and how much do you love playing with him?
Yeah, I love a lot of my teammates. I love them, but Switter is right at the top of the list. He's one of those guys that he's just going to give 100% every single time he has a chance to go at the ball or at the man. He'll give it everything, and every time he comes onto the bench, he's absolutely cooked. Can't speak. He just is a workhorse.
Yeah, he doesn't stop working, and he's quite tough as well. He's a tough little bugger, and he probably doesn't get enough recognition for the amount of defensive work he does. But on this potty, he is absolutely preached with the amount of efforts he has. So, and then other forwards to note, Sonny and Jai both ended up with 4. Sturdy kicked 3. So our forwards are on fire. JT had 12 marks and 3 goals. Like, it's crazy the way our forward line's working together at the moment. And, how does it feel, Snea, running out of a centre bounce, looking up and you've got a plethora of options and you just got to pick which one?
No, it is a great feeling. It's probably something that we've worked on, really focused in on the last couple of years, our connection between our mids and our forwards. We feel like we've always had really good looks coming off half-back, and that last piece of, lacing out one of our tall forwards coming out of the cage or putting it out into space for one of our smalls to get back onto it. That's something that we've probably struggled with. But now we're really starting to find our form, and they're doing the hard bit, which is actually kicking the goal. We're just putting it out for them.
It was so good to watch. And I guess speaking on goals as well, Andy, it was you that gave the handball to Jord coming past. And I
got an ear infection as well, I think. Clarkie was screaming that hard for it. But
might I just add the follow-up run from you, and then you hesitated. You get all the way in, and I feel like you were hesitating whether to pop it over the top to Jai. Talk us through this.
Well, the thing is, forward like myself, there's quite a bit of goal kicking craft, so you got to be seen to be doing the right thing, like you're going to give it off. And
you were never giving it off.
I was always looking. I just want to bring my teammates into the game, but unfortunately Jake Lever was just in the way, so I just thought I'd have to steer one through myself. And in all seriousness,
it was actually great.
I got over the hill pretty hard, didn't I? And Snea was lucky enough to just dish one off to me. And
I was still clapping Andy for actually giving you the handball.
Yeah, yes, he was yelling pretty hard for it. But no, great. We love Clarkie, not only for his defence, but for his starting up our offence. And I think that goal that he did kick started with a big come forward to spoil, which was awesome.
So, I just feel like the halfbacks, yourself, Walks and Wags, I thought were just instrumental in your role and for the game on the weekend. That bounce off the halfback created a lot of our ball movement, I guess, through the corridor as well. So I think phenomenal effort, Jordan. Yeah. And then you could get on the end of one. So well done.
No, thanks, Em. Before I get on to my favourite part of the game, though, I've got to just pump Walks up for the job he did on Cosy Pickett.
Yeah.
And Nader as well, Fifey that is, for his job on Clayton Oliver. A lot of people don't know that Fifey went to Clayton, took him out of the game. He's probably one of their best mids, or the best mid they have at the moment. And Walks as well, kept Cosy to, 6 disposals and no scores. So, incredible job from those two as well, and we do praise defence on this podcast.
Yeah,
but
Andy, we love what you do. We love the 41 disposals. Keep doing you.
Thank you.
But we do have to plug the defenders.
Yeah. But I know, obviously, we talked about the goals and everything and my goal, and I could be seen to love my goal. But my favourite part of the weekend was it was all about the Starlight kids and the kids who have gone through so many hardships, and to be able to be a part of that and see them smiling so much and live the game day experience and get to sing the song and make it all about them was something really special. And Andy actually works really closely. You're an ambassador. You go to the hospitals. What sort of thoughts and feelings? How do you feel about this whole program we've got?
Yeah, I think we do it really well as a footy club, bought in from all the players, all the staff, anyone who's been to the Starlight Express Room or even into the wards to see the kids. They really do love their footy, and when a player comes in just to say hello, even if they're West Coast supporters, they really are stoked to see you, and they get a really big cheesy grin almost every time. Even if the kid might not be so up and about, but the parents who are really going through tough times as well can be super excited. So we have about 5 AFL and another 4 AFLW players that are ambassadors that take time out of their schedule to go and say g'day. And then, I think the whole week, I saw it was almost $500,000 that was almost raised by the club for, great cause that everyone buys into. So I think we did it really well and kicked 17 goals on the weekend, which is awesome.
Absolutely. And I think it was just so evident that you were playing for something more than the 4 points as well. Like, I just feel like the energy on field was phenomenal, and I wasn't even out there. So I think that people would be able to see that. But knowing that it is for such a good cause, I think just reiterates the power of sport and how much, your platform actually has a trickling effect into the community level. So I think it's really important that we keep promoting causes like this.
Yeah. And, it was such a special weekend, but one of my favourite moments was little Immy. She got to lead us out, and she's a beautiful little girl, and her toss, when she went up to do the toss and she flicked it a mile over her head, I actually had a laugh to myself before the game.
Good.
It was just so cute, and, just to get to be around those kids for a couple of days, you kind of wish they were here the whole year so you could, you live with that perspective of, enjoying coming into work, and that there are a lot of people out there doing it a lot tougher than we are. So, it's a special week and one that you guys do really well to all our ambassadors. So,
yep, it was beautiful. Well done, boys.
Yeah. Anything else from game day that we loved? We liked?
I love that you look at me. I'm like, you're the ones that know what happens behind scenes.
Yep.
Anything we love.
Lukey Ryan's 150.
Yeah,
such
huge.
a great, teammate. And
Coxie presented Luke his 150
So
jumper.
good.
And he'd been focused in on the speech all week and absolutely nailed it. Coxie, who's not really much of a wordsmith, he got up in front of the whole playing group, Luke's family and friends, and absolutely nailed the speech.
Yes.
And for probably largely the group probably thought it was going to be a fair piss take as well. And Coco actually managed to, switch on and deliver a great speech.
He was on task.
Yeah, it was a beautiful speech actually. So
there you go.
Well
That's
done, Coco and Lukey. Well done, 150. Hopefully you got another 150 in you. Get your 300.
Absolutely. All right, moving on to the man in the hot seat. We are going to talk through your footy life journey, Andy. Can you tell us about your upbringing, life as a kid, who you went for growing up, and then I guess all the way up until you got drafted?
Yep, I can. I one of 4 boys, youngest of 4. My old man played for North Melbourne and Claremont Footy Club. My mum played netball, so we all she played netball for WA, and all 4 of us loved our sport growing up. Oldest brother Will played a bit of soccer. And then the 3, Angus, Hamish, and myself played footy. Loved footy from a very young age. Obviously got to watch all of my brothers, playing for the local club, which was the Hampton Rovers. And I couldn't wait till I was old enough to be able to play. And Dad was the coach for a couple of years at junior level, and always wanted to go for a kick with my brothers down at the park. And sport had a big part in our lives for sure. And then I never really thought that it was going to be a career choice, probably until Angus got drafted. That was in 2014. He got drafted to Melbourne, and I was thought that I was on a similar trajectory to him, and I was like, oh, okay, so he's got drafted, maybe that could happen for me, and started to take my footy quite seriously at that age of about 16. And played for my school team, Haileybury, Sandy Dragons at the TAC Cup level, and then was lucky enough to get called out by the Dockers in 2017. Finished school on the 12th of November, and then drafted on the 24th of November. Turned 18 on the 8th of November. So literally just went birthday, 18, finished my exams. Had just over a week off, and then got drafted and flew over to WA, and have been here for 7. This is my 7th season now, so have absolutely loved it. Couldn't have imagined the relationships that I would have built with all my teammates and all the staff here, and just absolutely love the footy club.
Wow, what a story!
So talk to us where this fits in. Then you were brought up in Melbourne. You're now in WA, but your dad and Nat have played at Claremont, WA, but you supported Port Adelaide.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. I did skip that.
He's brushed over it. Yeah. I also was waiting for you to say Sandringham Dragons.
Oh, that's easy.
I did say Sandy Dragons. I touched on them. But
Jordan can't pronounce things often, so
okay.
Just did you up.
Hey, we're not about bullying here.
Mum and Dad were originally they met each other in Perth. Dad played for Claremont. They both lived around sort of Subiaco areas. Then Dad got drafted to North Melbourne, so they moved. Mum and Dad moved to Melbourne. Dad played 3 seasons at North, and then came back to Perth to play for Claremont for a couple more years. Mum moved obviously as well with him, and then once his footy career finished, he still wanted to be involved in sport and in football in particular. So he had a few different jobs at a few different footy clubs. He worked at Fremantle briefly. He worked at Richmond, at North Melbourne, and at Port Adelaide. And when I was just getting involved in footy, which was about 2000 and happened to be when Port were flying, 2004, 2005.
Of course.
I was getting involved in footy. Dad was working at the club. We were living in South Australia at the time. I was actually born in SA and moved to Melbourne. But yeah, so Dad was working at the club, could get jerseys and kit, loved free kit, and was putting on a Power jersey, and then they won the flag, and I was hooked. So I was a Port supporter.
Beautiful.
Moved to Melbourne, and I was like the only Port supporter in my school. And then Port, after probably 2008, took a real dive and were not great for a long time, but I stuck true to them. And yeah, that's how I was a Port supporter.
That was good that you told us that long-winded story, because I feel like that's the only way we'll give you an excuse to go for Port Adelaide.
Yeah,
so well done.
We needed some stuff behind it. And you sort of touched on the impressive junior footy career you had. Started at Haileybury, I suppose. And then, Sandringham Dragons.
Nice.
So you can shut up. Vic Metro, then onto the AFL. But back around then, you played in a very competitive school team, which was riddled with AFL players or blokes who have been exposed at the AFL level. I'd say it'd be pretty similar at Sandy and then Vic Metro. Any players that stand out and that you were drafted with and that are still forging pretty good AFL careers?
Yeah, Haileybury was a lot of fun. We had an absolutely stacked side, and obviously we didn't know it because none of us were playing AFL, but we had our first side had year 10s, 11s and 12s in it, and yeah, we had almost more than half of our starting side ended up getting drafted and have made quite a good career for themselves. But it's hard to go past that team and some of the guys in there. We had both of the King boys, Max and Ben King, were playing at Haileybury. They were in year 11. Myself and Luke Davies and Charlie Constable, ex-teammate of yours at
Not a bad
Geelong.
engine room, that one.
That was the engine room. So we had a lot of fun in there. And there's a number of players like, Cody Waitman was one of our small forwards. Aidan Bonner was on the wing. Liam Stocker was on halfback. Like, we just had a number of guys that ended up, playing AFL, but I think we just had a lot of fun. Obviously, there was no expectations on you at that stage. So looking back on school footy, it was heaps of fun, and we were able to win. There's at APS level, which is our school footy. There's no grand final. You just play 10 games, and whoever's won the most wins the cup. And we didn't lose, so we won the granny, and that was a lot of fun.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
That just sounds amazing.
Yeah, no,
just being able to, I guess, even then play against Oppo now and being like, I played with you in juniors. That's so special. And then I suppose just talking about your own career, Andy, I feel like you definitely brush over it quite a bit and you're very humble. So I'm just going to list some of your individual accolades now, and then you can tell us at the end if we're missing any. So we had the 2022 MVP Lee Matthews Trophy, 2022 All-Australian team, a 3 times 22 under-22 team selection, 2 times Jeff Christian Medal, which is awarded to the best player in WA, the 2022 Doig medalist, and anything else? Is that we're missing one?
He's the skipper of the 2s golf team at Freo as
perfect.
well. So he's not quite cutting it in the 1s at the moment, but he can have the 2s. So I thought that's worthy
That is
of
true, actually.
Is that your career highlight? I want to actually hear about what I guess was your favourite moment out of all of them, and I guess something that you would hold quite close to home right now.
Yeah, there's my first couple of years at the club, you go to your Doig medal nights, and back when I was first drafted, we used to get the top 5 would all stand up on stage, and I just remember looking at the guys that were up there in my first year, and it was like Fifey, Dave Mundy, Aaron Sandlance, Lockie Neal, and I just remembered thinking, wow, if I could get up on stage one day, that would be pretty special.
Yep.
So, when I was able to go up there and get the dog medal, that was that's a memory that I'll definitely have forever. So that's probably my highlight. Yep.
Incredible.
That's
What are
great.
you
I look
smiling
at those 5 and just think, I wish I could get within 200 votes of 5th. I look at you blokes and go, yeah.
Come on, we need a best backman. Best backman award.
But
No, that's awesome.
But
Absolutely love that.
obviously since that period, you've now been at the club 7 years. You've had a taste of being a captain. We're not sure whether you'll be the captain this weekend or Caleb. It's a toss of the coin. That's usually how they decided on it. But how do you think your leadership, your maturity has changed since you've arrived at the club, and who's had a massive impact on you in that area?
I've had a few role models, I guess, in that space. When I first got to the club, I was lucky enough I lived with Fifey for my first sort of Christmas period when you first get drafted. So he was generous enough to let me stay at his house, and I sort of just watched what he did and saw how he led. And at the time, he was the captain of the footy club. And then my first full season, I moved in with Lockie Neal, and he was a completely different sort of leader, but also an outstanding leader. And I got to live with him for a year and see how he goes about his footy. And they're both very different in the way they go about it, but I would have to say that they've been probably my 2 biggest role models in terms of leadership. Bob Murphy now as well at the club. He's, I guess, he's head of leadership. I'm not exactly sure what his role title is.
Yeah.
They're getting longer and longer these days, but
he's about a 7-in-1 sort of job title.
Yeah, but he's been really great. Probably the last 2 years, and I think having the same leadership group 2 years in a row now as well has helped. No change this year. Caleb and I vice captains and Moose captain, and Youngie, Jager and Switter in the leadership group. And last year was a tough year for the footy club. We didn't have as many wins as we wanted to and didn't perform the way we wanted to, which can make it a little bit tougher on the leadership group. And often you blame yourselves and question whether you're leading well enough. But this year we've had more wins. We're playing the brand of footy we want to play and feel like we're leading a lot better. But I couldn't be the leader I am without Fifey and Lockie.
Amazing. And from my understanding, you're really big on bringing your best self as well, Andy. And from my understanding, from what Jordan said, you're quite a larrikin around the club. So a few weeks ago when you did get the chance to captain, you actually didn't have to model your leadership off someone else. You actually got up in front of the group and I guess made a few jokes and really made it your own. Talk us through that experience for you and I guess how you were able to bring that at the time.
Yeah, it's tough because when you're in the leadership group, you feel like you can definitely just be yourself. There's 6 of you in there and you all bring something different. But when you're the captain, you might feel like you have to, I don't know, be the one that everyone looks to, do everything right. And JL was probably the one that had a chat to me probably the start of this year and just said, just keep being your authentic self. You bring something different that everyone else brings, and don't try and change. Don't try and lead how you think I want you to lead. This was him speaking to me. Don't think you have to run meetings how you think I want them to be run. I want you to do it how you want to do it. And if you think a joke needs to be made or something has to be done, then you do it. And so he sort of gave me the green light to be myself. And Bob's also really big on that, pushes us to be ourselves. And so, then when Moose went down and Caleb and I had the chance to run out as captains, I thought, you know what, I'll just do my thing, do what I do, made a few jokes and just tried to make everyone feel comfortable. And got some positive feedback from a few of the
Love
boys.
it.
Absolutely nailed it. So then a little segue into what I've got written here is obviously you and Caleb went 1 for 1 with the captaincy, then got to week 3 and there was a toss of the coin. Caleb won it. Were you filthy? Were you flat?
Well,
Honest.
So we had the first time
It's not going to go anywhere other than to the 20,000 viewers that we have.
We're global.
We're international.
So we actually got brought in when Moose got injured. we both got brought in, and they said we're going to toss a coin to see who's captain this weekend. And so I won the original toss because I was then captain against Sydney. Then we alternated. Then we said Moose will be back in a week, so we've only got one more toss again. Caleb won. It was in front of all the boys. I was a bit flat, but I'm 1 from 1 as skipper, so I was pretty happy.
So you do have that one wood on Caleb.
Yeah, you do.
And then I suppose we touched on 7 seasons at Freo now. Do you have a favourite teammate that you've graced the field with, past or present?
He's continuing to talk just so you notice him.
Hey.
You're wanting him to give you a plug, yeah?
Oh, I'm certainly not. I wouldn't even be in the top 10, I don't think. So,
I love playing with you, Clarky, don't worry.
He did say that before. That's nice.
but there is some greats at
Yeah,
this
there
football
is,
club
there
and
is.
that he's got to play with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The most talented, the best player I think I've played with is Fifey.
Yeah. Your favourite, though?
My favourite teammate.
Yep, teammate.
And why?
And why? It's a great question, and I've been lucky enough to play with a lot of great teammates.
Good answer, but we needed one.
David Mundy
Okay.
would
Why?
be my one. I probably got to the club when Dave's leadership was at almost its best. He cared as much about me growing as a footballer as much as he cared about himself playing footy, which was awesome. Super selfless. Wanted to impart as much knowledge as he could on all of the young guys. And every time I stepped out onto the field, he sort of made me feel comfortable, set me up at stoppages. Like when you first get to the club, there's a lot going on in your head, especially on game day. You've got so much to think about, and to have a senior player who is as good as he was to sort of direct me around and, keep me on task before we even probably knew what that was. But he was amazing, and I absolutely love playing with him. So Dave's my vote.
Yeah.
On you, Dave.
Love it.
No, there's no surprise there. And I think, you ask a lot of the young boys at the club right now, I reckon Dave would be
So
up there
good.
along with Fifey and probably Sonny somewhere along the lines. Depends what sort of player and where you fit in. But
Great.
I think that's a very warranted answer. Dave was a superstar.
It's a good question, but we do have some better questions to follow, I would say, because we have called your brother Hamish this morning to try and get some dirt on you, Andy, but you are a very clean-cut player, so we have had to dig deep here, and George's going to kick us off with
this
There
one.
we go.
This one hasn't surprised me. You've kept it very quiet and close to your chest. Recently given you marching orders from Lake Carrinup Golf Club. What's happened there?
and we're not going to say anything until you explain the
Yeah.
story.
What's happened?
Okay. Well, Hamish is as much to blame as I am. We love our golf, Hamish and I. And when we lived in Melbourne, we still are, but we were members at Royal Melbourne Golf Club. Moved interstate for footy. So we kept our interstate membership, and Royal Melbourne is the best golf club in Australia, but in Victoria.
Just got to put that out there.
Yep. And Lake Carrinup is their
Setting the
sort
scene.
of reciprocal club. So if you're a member at Royal Melbourne and you are in WA, you can play
Sure.
through reciprocity. And I thought, honest mistake, Hamish and I both thought that we could still use our reciprocal rights at Carrinup. But technically, because we live here now in WA, we can't. It's actually a good question. I'd love to run it up.
So are you saying that you were playing and either not paying for the membership or going under another member's name at the time?
No. We were definitely using our name.
Yeah, right.
And we got the letter of introduction, which is what you're supposed to do. And up until this year, I probably played 5 or 6 times there, and they've never been worried about it. And they said, "No worries, mate. Welcome to the course." They roll out the red carpet. They hear Royal Melbourne. Their antenna goes up and
Here's
they
prick
roll
up,
out
yeah,
the red
yeah,
carpet. Until very recently, I had a guy at the pro shop say, "Do you live here?" And I was like, "Yeah, I live here." He's like, "Yeah, mate, you can't do this." And I was very shocked. I would hope that
And apparently your reply was, "Mate, do you know who I am?"
No, that's not at all what happens. But
I've got it on good
We've
authority.
got it here, yeah.
You sort of scoffed and went, "Mate, do you know who I am?"
I'm hoping that
But
someone...
also, did
And
he
you
actually know who
fumbled
you
your
are?
wallet around trying to get your Freo players card
The
out.
players'
Is that
card.
true?
No,
This is
I'd
7
never-
seasons under my belt.
I would never do that. But I hope that someone does at Lake Carrinup listen to the podcast and they can potentially fix it because I still believe that I should be
Yep.
accepted.
You're
there.
paying your fees.
I'm paying into
Yep.
into
And
state.
a little rule bend, into your favour. And
Yeah, I mean,
But also, yeah, that's just so rogue.
yeah, it's an interesting one.
So
but
did they set? He just told you though. It wasn't like a formal letter saying you
no,
can't
no,
play.
I was just there and I was about to play and and he just said he must have potentially maybe like known that I was living here and just said, "Do you live in WA?" And I was like, "Yep."
It's a bit weird.
Honest mistake, and then yeah.
Do you watch Freo?
Yeah.
This is
The
the last
loaded-
time
the
you'll be
loaded
allowed here. This is the last time you'll be
not that.
allowed
So
out
I can still
here.
go there. And Travis Collier, one of our ex-teammates, is a member. He's a paying member there.
Sure.
So I can still go and play with Trav, but apparently I can't go by myself. So
Okay, well, let's just hope that someone from Lake Carrinup Golf Club is listening. Please allow Andy Brayshaw to come and play.
nah, I'm with the bloke in the pro shop. He's got you with the loaded question. But then a little bit more. So your first car was a Holden Commodore.
yep.
But, a year or two after being drafted, you turned into a bit of an inside bull. So you said you needed the car to match. So you've upgraded for the Hilux, top of the range, and you've never picked up a tool nor used the tray. I've heard.
Is this true or
Nah,
false?
that's so false. Hamish,
And I can't really throw much
Hamish's just
smoke.
putting
at
so much
something.
mail on this. Yeah, I was going to say, Jordan, have you?
Geordie drives the same car as
Yeah.
I do. But yeah. Hamish just talks a lot of rubbish, you'll find.
The
But no,
quotes have just sent me, like the quotes.
I could hear him.
I'm an inside bull. I need the car to match.
That is so rubbish. That is so rubbish.
Yeah.
But I did drive a Commodore. In Victoria, you have to be 18 to have your driver's license. So I only just turned 18 before I got drafted. So I didn't have a car in Melbourne, moved over here, needed to get around. And there was a nice second-hand Commodore that was on sale.
Yep, beautiful.
Bought that, whipped around in it for the next
Sort of discount
3
on
years.
sale.
Well, I mean, every car's on sale.
fire
Like when do you
sale
ever?
today.
You never. You never pay.
He was
full
paying for
price
his
a
golf
car.
membership at the time.
That's true. So 3 years whipping around in that, and then I thought, nah, it's time to level up.
Yeah, okay.
But that quote is false. I never said that.
quote
The quote is so false.
I'm sure everyone knows. What was your first car?
Mine, a little Ford Focus, like
Oh, nice.
manual. Dad only just sold it recently.
Beauty. What was Russ zipping around in it or something?
No, he didn't. We didn't need it anymore.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
But all the boys, all of us.
Who got to keep the cash? What was it worth? A couple of hundred in the
Probably
end?
a couple of slabs of coke or something like that. It wasn't worth much. It was pretty banged up, but it's we don't bring up my car on this potty. It's still in the repair shop. So
Oh, no.
I did get a call just then, and it's potentially an update. So I got excited, but I can't answer it mid potty, although I probably should have.
Well, anyways, you both drive a Hilux,
But
and
then-
there you have it.
Yeah.
Geordie actually saw my car and asked me what it was, and then bought
Yeah.
a similar car.
And then use the quote, I'm an inside bull. So I
I'm a
need-
flashy halfback, and I need a new.
I needed a flashy halfback.
never gonna use the tray in my life.
I haven't quite used my tray either, Andy. And
Oh, sorry.
I felt
my
really.
golf clubs fit perfectly.
No,
with the
yeah,
tray.
actually.
Is
Golf
that when you go
clubs-
to Lake Carrinup, or
When I drive out to Carrinup,
That's fair.
when I used to drive out to Carrinup, but no, pick up the
I
boys.
used to, perfect.
4 sets of clubs, you can fit all 4 in, pack the car, drive wherever you need to go, play golf.
Love it. Well, if you can pay for a golf membership, if you can pay for a Hilux, you can pay for a golf membership.
It's true.
But anyways, moving on to, I guess, the part that I want to talk about, Andy, is your engagement to Lizzie. Now, Lizzie has been helping me with my skincare. What a
Nice.
woman. Love that lady. So how's the wedding planning tracking? Talk us through the engagement period, wedding planning, and everything in between.
Yep. Lizzie is running most of the planning.
Perfect.
So I don't have. I've visited the site. We're getting married in WA.
Beautiful.
Next year, late next year, and we've been to the venue. Beautiful venue in the Swan Valley. And then all the finer details Liz is working through with the wedding planner.
careful dropping any names, you have 20,000 Dockers members rocking up to your wedding.
Yeah, we're like, can we just keep using the site? Site X.
And I actually got her ring. We were in Europe together last off season, and we were walking through Paris and went to a few different jewelry shops just to look at some sort of jewelry for Lizzie. Genuinely didn't intend on getting a ring at the time, and then she saw a ring that she said, "Well, if you're ever going to propose to me, this is pretty much exactly what I want." I was like, "Oh, cool." Anyway, we came back and ended up getting it, and
I've actually just pause on that though. She has told me that you've been in the hotel room for a whole 24 hours researching to make sure you're getting the right deal here.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to. I mean, researching for a ring is a big.
I like it.
He's
He's a planning man. He's a planning man.
It's a big task, and Geordie's not too far away, so he's got to be listening to this. But
Jordan's planning.
you've got to be.
Goes as far as what his next meal's going to be.
You've got to be very careful. There's heaps of different. I would never have known, anything about a ring until you actually do some research. So Geordie, I'll send you some links.
Yeah, perfect.
I was
You can
pretty
have some
good at school
research.
with research projects. So so it's right up my alley, that. I think.
Perfect. No, but I love that though, that you actually did your research, made sure it was not only the right one that you were going to be spending a lot of money on, but also the right one for Liz. I love that.
Yeah, so we got it, and then a couple of months later, proposed in. Actually, I picked Liz up from work, took the dog for a walk in Cottesloe, walking around on this bit of grass overlooking the water, and then proposed. She said yes, and now we're getting married. So I'm very
Beautiful.
lucky. Yeah,
And you did have a cut eye at the time.
I did.
And you have got a cut
I've got
eye
another
now.
cut
What the
eye.
hell is going on?
I don't know. No, Moose. It was actually quite a funny story because I had Liz's mum and dad, my mum and dad, all of my brothers that live in WA. We had everyone coming over to Liz and my place to celebrate. So I had to tell them in advance so that they could fly over. So everyone knew except for Liz that I was going to propose, and so they've already booked their flights. We've already got everything set up. I'm going to pick Liz up from work. We've got a 4-day break so we can have a drink. And then last training session before the 4-dayer, Moose Pierce with one of his big elbows smacked me in the eye, and had 5 stitches in my eye.
And she still said yes.
She still said yes, but I literally was lying on the doctor's bed thinking, oh my God, this is going to look so bad tomorrow. But I went through with it, and the rest is history. Yeah.
Love it, Andy. I love it.
And sorry, guys, Em had a sip of that stupid water bottle for the 6th week in a row.
The 6th week in a row.
She does this weird thing. She's got to drink.
Our guest just had a drink of his water bottle 3 times.
It doesn't make a racket.
Oh, you've got something wrong with you.
Anyway, Andy, you're
I'm
Mr.
having-
Nice Guy. You're a clean-cut bloke and you're perfect at everything. But is there anything that actually annoys you or pisses
Yeah, we
you
need
off,
to
like
know.
Em's water bottle for me? Or
Biggest pet peeve. You got to be honest.
I've got plenty of things that rub me the wrong way. I don't like coffee snobs. I'm a hot chocolate. Majority of the time, I drink hot chocolate. Sometimes, if I need to spark up, I'll have a latte.
Nice.
But I'll have a latte, and no matter where it's from, I'll enjoy it. And it's more the company of the people that I'm with.
Like a Makona in the Players Lounge?
I haven't actually made it a Makona, but I have
usually
the
if
pods.
you did, a big gold spoon.
But
Big
no,
to
I
the
don't.
sky.
I don't mind. I feel like all coffee's pretty tasty, and if
Okay.
you're going to drink it. But then I've got some teammates that would be like, "Nah, I'm not going to that cafe," or "Nah,
Right.
are you drinking from up there?" Like, nah, I'm not
Very
going there.
picky.
So
Okay.
they rubbed me the wrong way. That's probably my number one. Do
Who
you guys
is-
want to share a few before I give me a few?
No, no, no.
Nah, and then we were going to follow up with what's
need you-
the worst thing you've ever done?
Probably a loaded question then.
No, it's not.
No,
It's
it's
not.
actually not. We actually want to know.
What's the worst thing I've ever done? Probably lied to my mother a few times when I was
Right.
living back at home.
Or let's say that's great. Let's also change that. I guess your, worst trait, I reckon.
My worst trait.
Yeah.
I love making everything a game. Yeah. If we're just having a simple sit down meal or something, I want to make a game about who has to clear the plates. Like if we're upstairs at lunch,
Which I think's great, but
yeah.
it can obviously annoy
it
people.
rubs a lot of people the wrong way.
Yeah.
So there's a few players that think I make everything a game and they're pretty flat, but brings a lot of energy. So
I like it.
I do love it.
Transform your home into a smart home and save money with MyPlace.
MyPlace. Aircon Smarts reduces power, costs, and transforms your house into an energy-efficient, fully connected home, controlled by a smartphone app.
The MyPlace system can integrate with smart lights to set the vibe from the bed, the couch, or wherever.
The garage? so you'll never forget to shut the roll door.
Smart curtains, automated to sunshine and heat.
And security to see who's at the door.
MyPlace is truly affordable, comfort and control.
Get MyPlace today. Google MyPlace by Advantage Air. All right.
Moving on.
Now, thanks to our friends at MyPlace, our sponsor of the program, Andy, you get to build your ultimate Freo player. So you got to build one out of each of these qualities.
Okay.
So we'll start with strength. Which player
We'll
would
just
you...
tell you all of them first, I
Sure.
think, just so
Okay.
you can have a good think. Strength, aerial ability, star power, and vision.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll start with what Jordan said, your strength.
Strength. Patrick Voss.
Yep.
He benches about 145.
5 or something?
He's going to absolutely love this. Every week someone brings up Paddy Boss and says a number to it now. He's got a number to it.
He did fail at 150 though
Yeah.
the other day. So
Oh, okay.
stiff Vossy. But no, I'd take
Vossy, perfect.
Vossy's strength.
Yeah.
Next category was
Aerial.
Aerial. Luke Ryan's aerial ability.
Yep.
He also reads aerial play really well.
Okay. Well, star
like
power. X Factor.
X Factor / star power. I'd go Sonny Walters.
It's got to be a forward.
Yeah.
Son Walters has the ability to
Yep.
change the game.
Yeah. Vision. So interpret this however you want.
Yeah, we're not even going to give you an example.
I'd probably go Hayden Young's vision.
Yeah.
We have had Youngie a few times, I think.
Youngie's
Yeah,
vision.
we've had Chappie a bit.
Yeah, Youngie
Yeah.
loves analysing where he's going to kick it before he absolutely drills it, and he
Yeah.
has good vision.
Nice. That's a
Okay,
great
that's a fair
Freo player.
What sort of position's that player? Defender? Big defender, I think.
Could be utility.
Yeah. He can swing around. But here we go, Em.
This is my segment. All right, Andy. So this is a round of quickfire questions. It is called Getting Defensive.
I don't like Freo. I've never liked Freo.
Nah, that's a lot of feedback on Twitter,
I know
so
you do.
I don't. I'll take
It's all
that
tongue in
back.
cheek.
And the eye roll with that was because Jordan's running his own medal called the Clark Medal, and it's the fastest player to get through these questions. Okay.
Okay. Wow.
So yeah,
I'm
I
ready.
think- You ready?
Okay.
Worst thing about having a locker next to Nat Fife.
It's always locked, so I can never get anything out of it.
Worst thing about having a locker next to Luke Jackson.
He steals my budgie smugglers when he forgets his pair.
Best dressed teammate.
Brandon Walker.
Favorite board game.
Monopoly.
Death row meal.
Home cooked Mexican.
Last time you called your mum.
3 days ago.
What are you most afraid of?
Heights.
Coffee of choice.
Hot chocolate.
Pre-game superstition.
Wheat Bix and honey in the morning.
Best junior footy moment.
Winning the premiership at Haileybury.
Name another team you follow in another sport.
Chicago Bulls in the NBA.
Biggest name following you on Instagram.
Minwoo Lee. Or Tame Impala. I don't know who's higher.
Done.
He's got the record.
He's got it.
I'm gonna,
I thought the last
no,
answer, I was like, Andy, shut up.
No, I'm going to have to dock him 5 seconds. I reckon coffee of choice is named hot
No,
chocolate.
yeah.
When
Oh,
he
we've
mentioned
already-
before that
Latte.
he did like a latte.
Okay, well, what are you going to, how
So
much
if I
time?
docked you 5 seconds, you literally lose by 0.2 of a
You're going to
second.
make an intro. It's up to you. It's your medal, mate. So you just decide.
Well, I'll sit on that and review it.
All right.
I'm yet to write the
vision.
the curriculum for it. But
No, that's
all right.
great. But yes, coffee of choice. You did say latte
Yeah.
before. Heights. Most afraid of.
I
Interesting.
don't. I could have gone with spiders as well. I don't love spiders. I got bit. I actually almost missed a game, an AFL game. I got bit by a spider. I took.
What?
I put on.
That's so
I know,
rogue.
I put on a pair of shoes that were outside. Like, got a little box that has all my shoes in it outside. Liz doesn't let me keep them in the house because they usually smell. And I put on a pair of shoes. There was a spider in it. Went out for dinner. At dinner, I was like, oh, my toes like itchy. Ended up having a bite on a toe that was like, honestly, I wouldn't wish that pain on my worst enemy. All
Are you
week,
serious?
Couldn't sleep. There's a few. They had the doctors get me on antibiotics.
How
and
do you
stuff.
know it was a spider?
Well, I went into the doctor the next
Yeah.
day. Luckily enough, we have doctors at the footy club, so every day you can check in with the docs.
Hope so.
And well, for those at
God.
home, sometimes you might have to wait a couple of days before you could book in with a doc, but we just get to see
Yeah.
the doctors every day. And I texted the doc at the time and said I've been bitten by something. I can't sleep, and he said come in tomorrow. I'll check it out. Came in, He's like, yeah, that's a spider bite.
Did he say like redback or something?
He thought it was a whitetail, but he wasn't sure.
Oh my God.
And it was just horrible pain for the whole week. I ended up playing, but shocking sleep the whole week.
Nah, that's not it.
Not at all. Not at all.
Anyway, do you want to unpack any of the other answers, or are you happy with
No, I'm
them?
pretty happy with that. They're all,
Yeah.
I do feel you with the locker next and that Fife. When you just want to grab some of his chewies or something, then he's always locked it.
He must have been, someone must have taken something
someone's
back in the
thumping
day.
something out of there.
Always locked.
Yeah. But no, the death row meal, homemade Mexican.
Yeah.
Well, it's just my favourite
Who's
thing.
cooking it, sorry? Liz or you?
Nah, not me. No, definitely not me. I'm not a very good cook. Lizzie's cooking is amazing.
Great.
And like tacos and burritos, homemade Mexican.
Yeah.
Just doesn't get much better. And if I could only have one more meal, it would be
It'd
that.
be that.
So
Perfect.
it's Lizzie's home cooked Mexican.
Yeah, sorry, not mine.
Jordan's like, I'm
Definitely
adding
not mine.
another 5 seconds.
No.
on.
I just wanted to get
No,
the
it's
credit
good.
where credit's due, and
Yeah.
I didn't think you would have.
Nah,
whipped that up.
definitely not.
brilliant.
You're on death row. You're going to be struggling to find some ingredients for your home.
Anyways, the guy who's pushed for time here, we're going to move on to our next segment, which is Jordan's favourite segment, and it's the McFarlane Medal.
Luke McFarlane right on half time. It's McFarlane! And leaping McFarlane!
So it highlights the best defensive act from the weekend, and it's one of your teammates or your favourite. And I'm going to start with Andy's rundown of Colstrip when he got out
amazing.
the front. Was about to have a shot on goal,
So good.
and then came Brayshaw and
Pounced.
put a stop to that.
It was lovely.
Thank you, Geordie. Mine would be, we actually just watched in review today, Jager O'Meara's run, and it wouldn't have been, highlighted on any.
But this is good. This is the stuff we want to
Yeah.
see. Like, we don't have access to the behind the goal. You guys look at all the different angles. We want to know.
Yeah, it was definitely unrewarded because it resulted in Moose taking an intercept mark, but Melbourne kicked it in from a point, looked to switch it, and Jager, who was on the wing at the time, sprinted like 100 metres, and it was full-blown sprinting just to hold the man up on the mark. They ended up going down the line, kicking it to Moose, but Jager's sprint was my favourite defensive effort.
I think I've got two. I really loved Wags back with the flight when he got kneed in the chest, and that was the
Ooh.
crypto moment of the week. But I think that's just like courageous. Loved it, and I think really encapsulated all that Starlight means. But then I also love that we spoke about Walks' role before on Cozzy Pickett. I think that's a really important one, and often one that, like I said, the viewers may not see, but you guys obviously acknowledge that as well. So, well done, Walks.
Yes, well done to all involved there. And here
Love
we
that
go.
segment. I actually think this is my favourite segment.
Yeah, I know it is. This is Em's favourite segment, and that's the people's segment. So we get to listen to a few voice memos that have been sent in.
Oh, Andy, you
And we've
gag,
got
mate.
Jack first up.
I love Michael Frederick. I just want everyone at Freo to know Michael Frederick is the reason I wake up every morning. He strives me to be a better person and a better man every day.
Better man.
What time in the morning did that come through? And we're from the Northbridge.
Is he listening to Carly Rae Jepsen?
Call me maybe.
Oh, that's elite. Yeah, we love Freddie as well. We absolutely adore Freddie.
There was no question there, Jack, but thanks for
Thanks for your input.
sending it in.
And, we'll pass that on to Freddie. We got Emily next.
Hey Emma and Jordan, I just want to start off by saying, Emma, when I met you when you were on the bridge when I was walking across, you're one of the nicest players I've ever met, and thank you so much for stopping and have a chat. Also, I loved your goal, Jordan. It was my favourite goal of the day.
The day.
My question for the pod is, has a fan ever made you a sign that you've liked so much that you remembered? Anyways, go Freo. Bye.
I did get a sign earlier this year, but I'd already come inside. I didn't know it was out there, obviously, and one of the boys brought it across the oval for me, and it said, because my favourite chocolate bar, I got interviewed somewhere, and I said Chomp.
Yeah, that's so wild. Someone.
But I kind of took the piss with my chocolate recommendation of my Chomp being the favourite. This sign had like 4 Chomps sticky tape to it. The
What
sign
did it
got brought
say?
in, and I can't remember. No, I can, and I need if that person could listen, it was a pair of boots for the couple of chomps on the poster.
Oh,
So I need to get the boots to this person, but
That
I
is
don't
the
know who
best
you
thing
He's
are.
already
ever.
smoked the chomps.
Yeah, so
eaten
the
all
four
the chomps.
chomps are gone.
yeah, chomps didn't last.
So
5
make
minutes.
another sign with another 4.
Not my favourite chocolate, but they were bloody good. So, but I need to get these boots.
But he's lied to you. You've
Yeah.
lied to him.
Yeah, well.
Oh,
anyway,
that's actually great.
Yeah.
Love
So-
that they were really listening.
if they're listening, get in touch and I'll give you those boots.
Do you have
Andy?
a sign? Oh, my sign. There was actually one on the weekend that said Starlight Duo, and it was Caleb and me.
Oh, so cute.
And I thought that was cool because, Caleb and I, I've been, since we first got to the club, both of us, we've been working with Starlight and play on words, had a good laugh, and it was, a cute little sign.
Love it. I think there's been a few better down back
Yeah.
signs that I've been absolutely frothing.
Yep.
So that's great. And then last year when Hayley and I did the women's podcast, one of our fans made a T-shirt for it, which was so cool because I think there was an old Buck Young Bull T-shirt, but one of our AFW fans made a shirt, which was sweet. So hint to the fans out there, make us a better down back T-shirt and we'll start promoting them at the team store.
Next up, we got Johnny.
Hey Clarky, hey Driscoll, hey guest, it's Johnny Smith. If footy didn't go well, or as you planned it to be, what was going to be your backup? Thanks guys, love the potty.
I would have given it a red hot crack at playing cricket, and that probably wouldn't have worked out as well. And I have touched on somewhere. I'd probably be wearing high vis with a shovel in my hand somewhere digging holes. So that's where I'd be at.
If I wasn't playing footy, I would have just gone to uni straight out of school and done my 4-year degree, and I'd probably be working in maybe like finance, something like that.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
I just got that song in my head. Looking for a man in finance and trust funds.
I don't tick all
this
those
is
boxes.
probably you're a physio. So
I'm a
you're
physio, but I
sorted.
feel like I don't know if I would have actually, if I could turn back the clock, I don't know if I would still choose that path. I would actually have loved to, if I had more time on my hands, done obstetrics. I can't even say it. Obstetrician with babies.
So that first word again.
Obstetrics.
Obstetrics.
Yep.
I've never heard that word before.
Okay,
Like-
glass houses over there.
Everyone's heard that before.
Yeah, but not choking on.
Oh, being an, I'm sorry, I had a bit of spit in my mouth. I would have been an obstetrician and worked with babies and mums.
Thanks, Sam.
Nice.
Perfect clarification.
Next
Number
we've
4,
got-
Casey.
Hi guys, just a quick question. Just wondering if you have a favourite team to play against and also a favourite player to play against. I'd also like to add, only became a Dockers supporter when Clarkie moved from Geelong. So
Stop.
Wow.
yeah, bye.
That's huge.
That is actually so great.
Pinching him off the cats.
Favourite well, I guess not favourite oppo, but who do you really like playing against?
Probably a fitting week for I love the Derby.
Yeah,
I
okay.
love the Derby. It's a great week
Yep.
for WA.
Specific player in
Specific player. I don't love playing against him because he's a good player, and I don't like when he's at full flight because he'd be destroying us. But when Liam Ryan's at full flight, he's a special player to watch.
definitely. I loved with a D playing against the Melbourne Demons when Angus was there.
Yes.
Loved playing against my brother. That was a childhood dream of ours to be playing at the same level, and I used to love. I'd have that game marked out or games marked out, and they thumped us early days a few times, and the last game we actually played against each other, we just got over the line at MCG last year. So, favourite team to play against was the Demons, and favourite player to play against. The toughest opponent I've played on is probably Paddy Cripps.
Yep.
Just so strong and super hard to tackle. So he's probably the toughest opponent I've played on.
Love it. I love playing against Collingwood. I don't know what it is. I feel like you just go out there a bit more grit in those games. And toughest opponent, Chelsea Randall, leader of the comp, trailblazer of women's footy, really hard to play on, as well as Talia Randall from North Melbourne. She's at least got 30 centimetres on me, so it's always a challenge, but I love going up against her as well.
Beautiful. And next up, we got Jay.
Oh, hey Driz, hey Clarky. Just wondering, and to your guest, what's your go-to pub meal? Like for me, I'm a steak sandwich guy. Is it a palmy? And yes, I'm going to start some controversy with that comment. It is a palmy, not a palmer. So, but yeah, I'm just curious. Are you a surf and turf or a steak sanger? Let us know. Love you guys.
Thanks, Jay.
Jordy, you spend a fair bit of time at the
Como. Nice. The king of Kensington or the king of the Como?
I do love a palmy. And
Yes.
it certainly is palmy.
I agree.
But
I'm going to have to jump in there and say Palmer.
No, but that's because you're
expected Victorian.
Yeah. Yep.
Probably
I've done that. I haven't even said it. I've just gone
just done
over
it.
there.
Mum
yeah.
and Dad cut it
I
up
don't
for
even
him
know
too.
where there is.
Port Adelaide, don't know.
Nah, but I also love a pub that does like chicken wings as bites.
You would be like, he's talked
Yeah.
about liking a crumb sausage. Of course he likes the buffalo wings.
Yeah,
That's
just
so gross.
nice touch to wash down with a cold glass of water.
Pub feed for me, I do love a Palmer.
Yep.
Disgusting.
Palmer and a Coke Zero would be a big pint of Coke Zero.
You know what? I'm actually gonna second that, but I'm gonna call it a palmy for sure every time.
With a Coke Zizz.
Yep, love a Coke Zizz.
Nice.
While we're on the Palmer debate, since moving to WA, there's a few things that West Australians say that I'm not sure. The biggest one being gum nut.
Honky nut.
You guys call a honky nut?
Honky nut, yeah.
Do you want to explain that to
I
me?
don't-
Because I've got no, like it's off a gum tree.
I'm not.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll just
why
leave
is
that
it?
one with you guys.
I
then.
actually-
Might be
okay.
one for the viewers.
We might, put a poll out there
Yeah,
and
'cause
bring it up next week.
I actually don't know.
Because gum nut makes sense
Yeah.
for me.
Honky nut. I don't know why it's being called that. I'll ask my parents. See what they reckon.
There you go.
Wooly, one for you. All right, Maddie, number 6.
Hi guys, loving the pod. First time caller, long time listener. Just wanted to make a suggestion for Youngie's new nickname.
Oh, nice.
Especially over the weekend, I think I heard some of the commentators refer to him as the surgeon. So maybe surgeon or surge.
Surge.
Wow.
Loving it, guys. Keep it up.
I actually love that from Maddie. It's certainly better than oldie. That's for sure.
Yeah. What are we saying with at
Surge?
the moment for him?
We're going with squid at the moment.
How do you yell that though? Like it's just doesn't roll off the tongue.
Surge is okay. We do have a podiatrist at the club whose nickname, well, his name is
Sarge.
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 Sarge. Yeah, I guess.
And then we've got a coach called Sturge.
Oh, Sturgeon Surge.
Surge and Sarge. Wow.
Yeah, it's starting to get a bit complicated. We did find a good nickname during the week for Big Man Dogger.
Right.
On the way to Captain's Run, decided that he was in a breakdown, which turned out to be just a lack of fuel in the tank.
Stop.
So,
What do you
that
mean?
fuel light doesn't flash for no reason, dog.
Oh no.
So he's called Diesel.
I can't even deal with that.
Yeah.
Oh.
But anyway, thanks for the voice memos, because just remember to leave them in the show notes or on the YouTube description, and keep an eye out for our link on the Instagram story this week. We're wrapping that up for now, and we'll preview the Derby, and then we're out of here. So, Snea, looking
Nice
forward to
quick.
it?
He's rolled through that one. There was no segue there. It was just like, all right, previewing the Derby, perfect.
gotta keep
Playing it up
investing.
this Saturday night, everyone be there.
Well, pretty much.
Are you
Rock
guys
up.
excited?
Bring your signs with the chomps. I'll give you some boots.
Are you excited?
Very excited. We they quite convincingly beat us the first game, and we have a lot to redeem ourselves for, I guess, in the contest. Particularly, I'm sure you'll see a lot of physicality, a lot of aggression, a couple of bodies flying early, and hopefully we can get the chockies, the chomps.
And without Moose, let's hope you win the toss as well, Andy, to
hope
captain
so.
this weekend.
I hope so.
No, really exciting. Definitely get down to Optus. Let's pack it out this Saturday night. Otherwise, the podcast is done. Andy, how did you go?
Good. I think I answered the hard questions pretty well.
Yeah.
Hamish gave you a bit of ammo, but no, it was great. Thank you very much for having me on.
No, and thanks for listening to the Better Down. I was just going to add, I'm not going to dock him the points, and then I am going to dock him the Clark Medal points because he called it a Palmer, so he's out of
Okay,
it.
sure.
Jai Miss can still have it. But that's all again, folks. So get your voice memos in, get down to the ground this week, pack the place out. Hopefully we can make amends in our Derby status. And thanks for listening to the Better Down Back podcast, powered by Mike.
I was waiting for you to forget the sponsor.